All right, welcome back to the podcast.
Oh, is it on? We on?
Yeah,
Are we
we're
on?
We're on.
You have to say, that's how we have
Oh, sorry, we're on.
We're on.
It's been a little bit, but
A couple weeks.
yeah. Sorry about last week, man. That vaccine had me down and out, bro.
So we were supposed to film, I think we said in the last
Friday.
podcast, right?
Yeah.
We were going to do an actual Friday night at the bar, maybe do some lifting, some drinkings.
Yeah.
And then what happened?
Well, I got my second dose of my vaccine because, the city and county was a dick. But I had the second dose and it put me on my ass. I'm not even gonna lie. Like the first couple days or the first day and a half wasn't too bad. I could feel it, but I had to go to work that day, so I think that probably pushed the side effects back a little bit.
Yeah.
And then once I came home from work and I started to relax and rest, man, it just hit me like a truck.
Shit.
Like I was in bed, fucking just laying there. And Kristen's like, "Do you want to get up and get some food?" And I'm like, "Nope." She's like, "But you have the podcast later." I'm like, "Cancel."
Damn.
I gotta cancel because I
needed to show up, have some alcohols.
Yeah, probably would have helped me, but I'm not sure that I could have safely gotten up and gotten to the gym.
And the day of your vaccine, what else did you do that day?
Oh, and I got this, which
got
probably didn't help.
No,
It probably didn't help the my body's reaction to the vaccine.
just
but,
that by itself will give you a fever.
but
That looks good.
Thanks, man. It turned out nice. It's not quite done yet.
Turn for the people. Show them.
Oh, sorry.
Turn it.
There you go.
I realize we don't have any background on. We got some love for the fish tank background.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna put a sneaker.
I love that one because every once in a while when we're talking, I'll just glance over. I'm like, oh, that's so cool.
We're gonna put sneakers up.
Yeah. So
Feeling better now though.
yeah, I'm better now. I mean, I'm a different kind of hurting right now because of that WOD on Tuesday, and then yesterday I did the WOD at the gym or at the station.
Oh, nice. So you're back.
I'm working on it. I'm trying to get myself to be consistent. The running before has helped for sure. I don't feel like my cardio is still there.
Yeah.
Like when we that WOD on Tuesday, I was fine on the double unders. I was fine on everything else, but the fucking muscular endurance isn't there anymore.
Yeah.
So trying to do those weighted step ups, holy shit.
Dude, those were brutal.
Those things destroyed me.
So we did weighted step-ups, 24-inch with 50-pound dumbbells or 53-pound kettlebells
it
in
destroyed
each
me.
hand.
I was
brutal.
huffing and puffing. I think I did sets of 6.
I don't know what the fuck they were talking. It was a 10 to 15-minute time.
Yeah, fuck
No,
that.
nobody
There's
did
no way. Not at RX. If I had gone 35s, I probably could have made 10 to 15 minutes. But
Or it was 15 to... Maybe it was 15.
no, it was 10 to 15.
It was,
I
right?
read the notes on that one.
That shit was ridiculous. That hurt.
Yeah,
anyway.
it was fucking rough.
So hold on. So what are we doing today?
Oh, yeah. So as you can see in front of us, we have...
And if they clicked on it, because it probably says it in the title.
The thumbnail probably will have this. But, so what we're going to do today, our main goal, is to review Metcons as a whole.
The Nike Metcon.
Because I think it's no question now that Nike has kind of taken over the shoe game in CrossFit.
Well, what about Noble?
I think Noble is on its way up, but I still think Nike has the the hold. So right now, I think Noble could take it over, but I think the biggest thing that Noble has going against them is that their shoes don't fit everybody's feet.
Yeah.
There's some people's there's some type of feet out there that do not fit in Nobles, and so I think once they figure that out, then they could probably take over, and maybe a couple more years of exposure at the games.
And also, Reebok is
Reebok's
pretty much on their way out. They're not gonna
Reebok.
They're not gonna last too much longer. Now they're not a sponsor and whatnot, and they have no sport. So you go watch our video on that actually.
Yeah, we went into depth about
so
that.
A lot of people are like, man, what do I buy now? Because the Reeboks, I mean, they're a joke now. Their shoe is the same across the board as their any sport. They're doing nothing for CrossFit, or whatever you want to call it, cross training. So a lot of people are asking oh, should I get Noble? Should I get what should I get? Innovate is another one that you could get.
I love Innovate.
We'll get into those too a little bit. But Nike,
Yeah.
Noble, Innovate. And so like he said,
yeah,
Nike is the front runner in anything, and they always probably will
me and
be.
Bryce have been doing CrossFit for a long time, so we've naturally accumulated shoes from throughout the years. So between our two collections, we were able to piece together one shoe from each generation of the Metcon. We have 8 shoes here. There's only 7 generations of the Metcon, but we have 8 shoes because we have this guy right here, which is one of Bryce's favorites that he wanted to talk about.
Oh, yeah.
So down at the end, we have 1s, 2s, 3s. These are also 3s, and then we have 4s, 5s, 6s, and 7s. So we're going to kind of break them down a little bit and just talk about what we liked about them, what we didn't like. I think we've both worn all 7 generations, huh?
Correct.
Well, actually, I haven't.
Correct.
I haven't worn 7, so I don't know.
I have worn them, and I will not wear them again.
Yeah, I don't know about 7s.
All right, let's get into it.
Yeah, so
starting with number 1.
So these are the OGs. As you can tell, they are definitely 7 years old.
Those are worn. Yeah.
7 years old. They wore these pretty a lot. So. For me, the biggest thing that I didn't like about the ones was one of the things I didn't like about the ones was the compound or whatever they used for the soles, which us looking through this seems to be the same compound that they used throughout the years, but I just can't believe that that's true. But
seems hard and
it just
slick.
seems so much harder and slicker that like in a gym setting, like I didn't get that much grip. Like
yeah.
And then especially wearing them again, I mean I'm sure the 7 years of age has to do with it probably hardened up a little bit more.
Yeah,
and stuff,
a little bit.
But
they were hard though.
I wore them a couple weeks ago trying to do some rope climbs, and this is the hallmark of Metcons, right? When they first came out, one of their biggest selling points is, we have a rope guard, right? We have our shoes come with something that's specifically designed to help CrossFitters do rope
it was
climbs.
legit,
and it was awesome. So that's what this part here is, and but when I was trying to do rope climbs that day, my feet were just slipping like I was wearing blocks of metal. They were just not gripping anything.
Yeah, they seem a little. They do seem a little hard. However, if you look at that bottom, how long did you own the Metcon 1 before you got 2s?
Probably a year and a half.
Yeah, me too.
At least
I had them for a long time
because I liked them. Like everything else about them. Like before I had this shoe, I was wearing Nanos. I think I had the Nano 3s at the time. Yeah. And the Nano 3s were horrible. The soles were so loose and like squishy that I felt like I had no stability at all. And so when I bought the ones and I started wearing them, the sole platform was just so much better. I felt so much more stable for your average Metcon. Running, I mean, they're not the greatest. They'll do for running, but they're not the greatest, especially for those of you that run a lot and know what a good running shoe does for you when you run.
Yeah.
But
so one thing with the Nike Metcon, this was the beginning of the zero. They started getting to the minimal. Yeah. CrossFit was always about minimal, zero drop from heel to toe. They weren't they're not quite zero drop, but they're like
it's close to none.
3 to 5 millimeters, I believe, through the years. So
yeah. Let's see if it says it in here. Nope, it doesn't.
Also, pull out the insert in there. Let's look at that. Let's look at they've never changed the inserts. The inserts, well, they might have changed them, but they're thick, right? You get that out? They're super thick.
It's a real thick insert. Yeah.
So look at that insert. That is huge. So if you notice, the back and the front are about just as thick. Right. So, and of course, the rubber on the shoe is front to back is the same. But so there's not much drop from heel to toe. Yeah. And that's part of the reason they're so flat when you run. Yeah. They don't have a lot of spring in the middle.
And I just think that because of that and the way that they design their shoe, just feels like it hugs my foot so much better.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think it's that insert. That insert's really
it's like a cup.
Yeah, kind of cups it.
So yeah, I mean, so
they're
now,
good. They're good.
They were good.
They changed the game up.
They definitely, especially when at the time I think I had threes. I think I had Nano 3s, and then these came out, and the Nano 4s came out, and I bought both actually.
Yeah.
I remember having the Nano 4s. I had a black pair of Nano 4s, and the Nano 4s were horrible in comparison to this, and I haven't bought Nano since. The
day I got my first ones, and they were shit colors because you could barely get. It was
there wasn't that many.
It was
colorways.
I've never been like watching the internet for when they release because you would have to buy them that quick. So I bought some ugly color just to get a pair. I got those the first day, and I'm like, oh, I'm fucking buying more of these because they're great. Yeah. And then it was the hunt for the camouflage ones. Oh, yeah, we all had each other's sizes, and we're like, if you fucking get on. You had to buy them before they ran out.
Right.
If you get on, order me them up. So we'd just try to get them, and that's how I got my first pair. But yeah. So that's Nano Metcon 1. Those are good shoe.
So now you can take the 2 and then
keep that out.
Because we talk about a lot. There's a lot of differences between the 1 and 2.
Yeah. So one thing we looked at they have numbers on the rubber.
Yep.
And according to the numbers on all these shoes, the rubber never changed. But
I can't.
My problem with Nano or Metcon 3 and on is that the rubber got so soft that they would wear out. You can see this one's a little worn here. This is a 2. They feel pretty much the same as those. Now, one thing I think pattern. It might be is the different colors wear differently. That's the only thing if it's the same rubber.
See, I've seen
or
that,
maybe they're heat treated differently.
But
now.
I've seen that in other people's, not reviews, but just other people talking.
That it's gotten
other
softer.
People have said that their like specific colors get softer quicker or not as soft.
To me, the white seemed very hard. This red seems, I don't think I owned red, but this seems super hard.
Yeah, they're definitely super hard.
So according to this, though, I mean, these are definitely pretty much the same.
It's the same grip pattern.
Same pattern.
And I think the wear on them is very similar.
The design is the same, right? Everything on here is the same, except they got rid of the...
Yeah, so there's a couple of differences. Like, the mesh part is pretty much the same. The sole is pretty much the same. But if you turn it around, this is one of their biggest...
The butt
additions.
of the shoe.
Yeah. It's one of their biggest additions that kind of set the Metcons apart even more so, is they added this plastic ring around the heel, which made handstand push-ups just so much easier.
Slide right up the wall.
Slide right up the wall.
Whereas these were this foam, soft foam, and they would just grip. I remember Froning and those guys in the games, they cut their socks and they would put them over the heel so they could crush the handstand push-up workout. It was brilliant. But then Nike did that. Smart move. And they got rid of the little tag for whatever reason.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know why.
Interesting.
I mean, I guess you don't need it because there's not much. Slipping in and out of these is pretty freaking easy. There's not much of a heel cup on the back grip in your.
Pretty shallow.
So yeah, is that the only difference we can figure out of these two?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much. I think there's some slight differences in the way that the colors play with each other. The heel cup feels like the same material.
Yep.
Even the inside looks the same. Laces are the same.
So just those two.
Same. So just like the way that the colors play.
Yeah. They have through the years changed the swoosh. They've moved that swoosh around. I don't know if these are the same. So this side's pretty close to the same, but this side isn't. They gave you a full size swoosh on the inside, half swoosh.
Side. Interesting.
So they went to this half swoosh, and that I believe they maintain.
The
sixes don't even have one, but we'll get into that. Yeah, so there you go. You get rid of that 1. So now we go into the 3.
2s, and then this is the 3. You can tell which ones are Bryce's and which ones are mine.
Yeah.
Because Bryce has clown feet.
Yeah.
But it looks like some pretty drastic changes actually in the 3s. Yep. The mesh is different, right? And in the 1s and 2s, the mesh stops like halfway down the shoe, right? Like the mesh stops like right about here. On these ones, this mesh goes all the way down. The color changes, right? The color changes, but the mesh goes all the way down throughout the entire shoe. We're back to a full-size swoosh, though.
Oh, we got a full-size swoosh. What a weird thing. Inside. Yeah.
The sole is different though. The tread pattern.
Oh yeah, I love this tread pattern.
Yeah, this tread pattern is
When I saw that, I was like, oh, getting those.
And then this is the first generation of Metcons that I remember the rope guard being such a drastic.
Dude, that rope guard was killer.
These ones you could tell because no other shoe
compared
has
to
them,
other, yeah.
Right, but this rope guard compared to this one was just. It was infinitely better.
Yeah, I remember I had Innovates before the Nike.
Yeah.
I would wear Innovates and was a New Balance, and they would all have a big hole ripped into the side of them. And this saved that. But yeah, that rope guard was money.
Yeah,
I love that tread pattern.
They changed the heel a little bit. The way that this heel guard comes.
Yeah, you have a plastic heel guard for whatever reason. I don't know if people were stiffened it up.
Maybe just for stiffness.
Yeah.
And then the heel the plastic heel is still here, but it's kind of like hidden.
Weaker.
Yeah.
Is it hard?
It's hard.
Yeah.
But it's just hidden. Like
blends in a little more.
Blended into the shoe a little more, which I personally like, because I don't know, it's kind of just.
So
it was a good
That's funny.
A good thought, but it just kind of makes the shoe look a little more. I don't know. Like these are a little more everyday. Like you could wear these every day and not.
So one big complaint I had in the early stages, the first 3 years or so, is that this.
Oh yeah, the sole.
The tip of the toe, that's what would go first.
Yeah.
And that's when you knew you needed new shoes. They would just start to rip off.
Right here.
Yep. That, and then mine would wear at the pinky toe and at the bunion knuckle. But I probably didn't wear those ones that much. But yeah.
No, I mean they're definitely wearing right here. Like
yeah. No, my ones and twos they wore through on those two spots. Yeah. But I think that's what some of this extra threading is. I think it was to solve some of that problem. So I remember a lot of people had that pinky wear through. So I think that is this extra threads, whereas this is it's just nylon webbing. It's not the best, and then they just cover it with a thin layer of rubber. And that's pretty much what's throughout the shoe. Yeah. Doesn't work for real breathability, so probably here it's a bitch. So these are a little more breathable.
Yeah, I think that was one of the big complaints from the early generations of the Metcon is that they just weren't breathable at all. Yeah. Like your feet got super hot, super sweaty all the time. These ones I think were a little bit, but it wasn't until like the 4s and 5s that they got real breathable.
These feel like fabric, not nylon. Like they're fabricy.
So why don't you talk about the differences? So
now this is one of my favorite shoes. So
these are both 3s, right?
Yeah, both 3s. Now for whatever reason, so this is the fly knit, right?
Right.
For whatever reason, this is one of my favorite lifting shoes besides my lifters. My heel lands flatter. So in the snatch, if I go into a full snatch, I tend to fall back on my heels. Mm-hmm. I don't usually wear them for cleans because I never fall back. So, but this was a more stable landing, and I don't know. I have no idea why. I'm not sure if like the ramp was less.
Maybe pull out the insoles. See if they're
probably
different.
Exactly the same. Could be though. Also, they're dope camouflage.
Oh, they are different.
Oh, okay. That's why. They're a little bit higher.
Yeah.
And that's interesting.
See,
it's quite a bit higher.
This is like a reverse rake almost.
So think about it. So the fly knit is made for...
It's supposed to be more...
towards running workouts.
Friendly, right?
Yeah, so that makes a lot of sense. So just that little difference... That's a pretty big difference, actually. Shit, that's a...
And this one seems like it rakes backwards instead of... Like this has a 4
like
rake.
This looks pretty. I mean, that's close to zero dropouts for this part. Maybe not the shoe. This is absolutely not.
Yeah,
that has some drop. That's why. Okay, all right. So we boost up that heel would make all Metcons a little better for lifting.
Well, now in the later generations they come with those.
And this one is all. It's all fabric, right? It's all nylon and it's stretchy. There's no tongue, which I like the no tongue. I know Reebok moved to that this year with the which I like. I like no tongue, although these are pretty connected.
Yeah, I think all the tongues on all the Metcons, even from the
this is just no tongue. I like that.
They're
and
connected
I like
tongues, which I hate shoes that are disconnected tongues.
Yeah.
I hate the tongue.
And actually,
moving around.
we'll get into my Innovates. wearing them today. That was the problem. I like that this is made to also wear without socks.
Oh, really?
Right, because that's why they make stuff like that with no tongues. Anyway, I love these, and I wish they would make these again. Also, they had a little.
Well, they have fine knits, right? But
a little
just
heel
different,
cup.
Yeah?
That's a little different too because of the grippy, elastic around the middle or around the ankle, and then you need that to pull it on because it's a little more pulls back that so you get your foot in there better, I guess. We grab both. Oh, that's weird. What's the point of that one? I never really noticed that. Point of I
don't know.
I think that's a style thing. That's where the swoosh was too. Same swoosh pattern? Yeah, pretty much.
Big inside swoosh.
And again, I love the bottom of these. I still wear these. These I still actually wear. The rest of these I'll probably throw out after this podcast, but I actually still wear those. Anyway, that's
so
threes.
Those are the threes.
I'll keep that out. We need that. We need that one.
Fours. Yeah.
So we go to the four. So now you have a really fancy one, Mr. Fancy Pants.
Well, these are
leather. Raw. Are these made of baby seal? This is seal leather, right? Baby seal leather? Yeah. Leopard seal?
I'm pretty sure those were given to me by Chris, and I think that was one of the I think that was early on in our relationship, and I think that was one of the
when you guys still loved each other.
One of our first gifts that she had given me.
So you can absolutely feel that the rubber on this black is a little softer. It's got a little more give.
Yeah, it does actually.
Than the now I feel like the white is the hardest. See, is the gum? Oh, gum actually is. The gum's soft, but that's stiffer.
That's stiff.
This is definitely stiffer, but this is also a different shoe. It might have a different shape. But yeah, this is a little softer feel to it than this.
Yeah.
This one's like slippery almost, right?
This is I didn't realize, but
this will be the longest shoe review ever.
Never mind.
So the big difference in these, we got the new Metcon logo on the back.
Right. The heel design is a little bit different too, actually.
Yep.
That was one of my biggest things that I liked about this generation was the heel cup.
Oh,
the heel cup has more padding up near like your Achilles, and then it thins out as it goes down.
Yeah, this one's shitty.
Yeah, so it feels way more stable to me, and I feel like my heel isn't pushed forward.
Oh, okay.
Like for me personally, I don't know if it's the shape of my foot, but a lot of shoes have a lot of padding at the base of the heel, and it pushes my heel forward, and it makes it uncomfortable for me. So this one has padding up here towards where your
back
Achilles
into the
is,
heel,
and so my heel has room to move in the cup, and I really liked that.
And then the big difference with they also changed, I believe, the upper this year more towards not quite to this upper of the what number are we on?
This
is 5. So not quite the upper of the 5, but it's not the upper of the. Actually, it might be the same as the 3. I might have did that for 2 years.
No, here's the.
No, you got them.
I'm pulling up the
slightly different.
5s.
Yeah, so the upper changed, but generally the design
so
did not change much.
This is that's a traditional 5, right?
Yeah, so it went towards this one.
Yeah. So this
is a 4 though. We're looking at 4s.
That's a 4?
Yeah.
Oh shit, my bad.
We already know what the 5 looks like. It looks like this. And that's that bottom change.
Those are not Metcons. There we go. Yeah.
Yep. So it's in between.
Okay,
yeah.
So it's right in between.
Yep. So they kind of moved to this upper.
To that material.
Granted, this is the leather fancy ones.
I think they're using like this material, but this style where it's got like a split and a little bit more.
Yeah, they still have this split.
And
the design split in this middle.
And they still have this heel cup thingy.
Yeah. Yeah. So they just changed up the I guess the front upper.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. That's 4?
Yeah.
All right, we go to 5. Now 5 huge changes in the 5.
Big changes, and I love these shoes. Like these are my go-to training shoes.
Okay.
Like this is what I wear when I train, and this is also.
How old are these? These look like they're brand fucking new.
I don't know. They've held up really well.
Oh yeah, that's right. Cause you did CrossFit for 2 years.
Oh, fuck you.
Oh yeah.
But they're also like a daily wear shoe too. Like I wear them on a lot of the trips that I went on with Chris.
True.
Like I wore these. These were the shoes that I walked around in, and then I don't know. They're comfortable.
This is the year they kind of realized Noble was getting a big market share because you didn't mind wearing them out.
Yep.
You never would wear this shit
I
out.
never wore these
Especially,
out.
most of our shoes are like custom or...
Yeah. You remember those fucking lime green ones I had?
Buying a fucking pair of Metcons from the like stock. These are stock. They don't really look good. Like this gray with the white with the... It's just too much shit going on. Unless you got the camouflage ones, but again, you're not gonna.
Like they don't match.
You didn't want to wear them out.
Clothes.
No,
you know, like unless you were fucking wearing
like that fucking one you have is disgusting looking, and it's I mean it's the same colors as this. They're not good colors. You had to get. Were these custom?
No,
they're white.
None of the early
so like
ones
these, I wouldn't put a white heel with. I don't know. They're just not. They're not very good looking, and these are the good looking ones because we didn't buy the ugly ones.
Yeah, exactly. There's some first pair weird colorways, bro.
My first pair were the fucking that piss lime yellow.
Slime. Oh yeah.
Dude, they're hideous.
Gross.
But
especially when they start to get dirty.
It's all you could get.
Oh god.
So this year I believe they changed this to look more like the Noble, and so like you said, you could wear this out now. Yeah. This didn't look like shit on your foot when you're know when you're dressed up and not dressed up, but you got shorts and going out to dinner or something.
These were the shoe that I saw the first one that I saw everywhere. Everybody had this fucking colorway.
Okay, so that's what I had except white upper. They were hideous.
White upper.
Absolutely hideous. I believe so. They're close to that. Oh.
To this?
Yeah. God,
like look at that. Who the fuck wears this?
That's garbage. They're garbage.
And this is a stock colorway. Like
I feel like they did it so that when they would come out with a good one, they would sell out right away.
I saw a lot of these.
They just made such shit.
The orange and blue.
Yeah, I hated those too. The melon.
Yeah.
I think Ben's got those lifters, that color lifters, which are actually
he
cool
does.
looking.
Yeah, but his are all orange lifters. Like these are the Lauren Fisher ones.
Yeah. Oh, anyway, so back to these. So they changed the upper. It's definitely got a different design to it.
I love the mesh of the upper too.
Yeah, see, my problem with these is they're so damn hot. They just don't breathe here. Yeah, you can feel it's multi-ply now. Yeah. They went from single ply. No, there's two plies there, but yeah, this 2-ply is just, to me, they didn't breathe. I had those green ones, but yeah. And my green ones, they look brand. Actually, mine look pretty fresh too, but I probably didn't wear them that much either because they were super hot. So what else changed on them?
They changed like the heel, or they changed the tread pattern.
Bottom. Yeah, entire tread pattern. You can see.
And then they also added this like
the triangle.
Look at I mean, I don't know. Maybe they're for stability or something.
It might have some. Yeah, probably.
But yeah, they changed the heel cup style. Like these still have.
You know why they did that? Because look at all these shoes they're wearing right here, and I wonder if that's to combat that. They definitely try to fix problems.
Yeah, the 4s have these weird wing pattern right here, and then the 5s.
The other thing is the bottom. The one good thing is the bottom of this, the heel doesn't drop off as much as the previous editions did. I think that's for running.
Yeah.
But to me,
it's so that when you heel, because most people heel strike, right?
Yeah.
So it's so that when you heel strike, it naturally rolls your foot forward.
So this
alleviate some of that heel strike.
This is a little flatter, which is better for lifting. Okay, so these are going to be a little better for lifting. We still got the same.
That.
It's changed a little bit. Now this is, they keep this one for a couple of years. Put a little swoosh here. Now you got a super small swoosh on the side, no swoosh on the inside. So they change up their swoosh pattern. Not a big deal. Also, they changed the tongue a little bit, just the design of it.
Yeah.
It dips down a little further.
Mine has my name on it.
But yeah, yours has these are customs. Nice. When they came out with customs, that was awesome too.
Oh, the
that
Nike
was a great
ID.
thing. Yeah,
man, that was amazing.
I don't know what year they started that.
I had
3
more,
or something. They're great.
I think I've had more Nike IDs than I've had regular.
And so now also you can look at this, the insert. Now the inserts are important. So this insert,
I think this is the first year that they added the.
It's a little high.
No, but they added where you could add the.
So
the
now
lifter platform,
we have some here.
I don't have mine with me.
Yeah.
There we go.
Okay, so for lifting now those are a little better than the previous years. They're a little thicker. They're more like those fly knits. Yep. Plus, with the flatter heel, you're going to have a little better lifter. Right. Then they also supplied you with these little bad boys. You would insert these underneath. Yep. And they're pretty smart. They got these 4 little grooves here. Those 4 little grooves match right up to that, so that they kind of will. Once there's pressure in there, pressure of your they're going to stick in there. So this is a 6 millimeter add-on, and you could actually, if you're buying customs, you could pick your height. There's a few different heights. These are probably the middle or the top. And they come with this great little bag. No, it's a Ziploc. Great. But it says right there, wall balls, thrusters, squats. I think they said pistols on them at some point too. Just so you know what to use the heel,
right? I think for those of you that aren't super well versed in weightlifting, an elevated heel changes the angle of your ankle, your knees, and your hips, right? When you elevate your heel. So these are Olympic weightlifting how big shoes, that heel is, and they purposely make this heel bigger so that your heel elevates, changes the angle of your ankle, so you can get into a deeper range of motion throughout your lower body. That's why, like, a lot of times when you see people with like high heels, like females when they wear high heels, it's a lot easier to squat with high heels than it is with no shoes. You can
see how flat these are. They're almost dead flat. They actually are dead flat. And then
if you dead flat, but with a heel.
If you put these up to it, you've got about a half-inch gap at the back. So these are a half-inch gap. I bet you these are a little less. Little tiny bit less. But they are less.
Yeah.
See these. So now we get a little more, but I actually think, well, that's a whole different problem.
That's a...
And then these are actually pretty good. That's why we'll get into the lift heel on those. But anyway, these are Nike Romelo lifters.
Those are the OGs, huh?
These are the fucking, I got a couple pair of those, so. Yeah. Those are good. So
anyway, this was the first year that they integrated this heel cup technology or additions that you could
pretty cool.
You could customize your experience, and I think it
fucked their business up.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, I think it changed a lot of people's perspective on shoes, because before, one of the hallmarks of CrossFitters is that you had all these different fucking shoes for all these different things, right? In your gym bag, you had a pair of running shoes, you had a pair of trainers, so Metcons,
people would change their shoes multiple times in a workout.
Yeah, and then you had a pair of lifters, right? Like, I remember, like, some of my early competitions, I was changing shoes all the fucking time, like in the middle of workouts.
Yeah.
In the middle of workouts, I would change shoes. Guys. And so now, this kind of gives you a little bit more flexibility with your shoes. Takes a lot less time to lift your heel up, slip this in there, and then continue on.
And you don't have 12 pairs of shoes in your bag anymore.
You don't have to carry around a whole bunch of stuff.
I'd actually say they should have took that a little further. Although I understand, we'll get into why they didn't. Imagine if they gave you this insert, which is a good mid insert, a smaller one, and then also these. So then you can go from, if this was a little smaller, it'd be better for running, because these things land so flat, right? You sound like a fucking horse when you're running with Metcons. If they made it a little smaller, a little more towards zero drop, you're not going to have that floppiness. Mm-hmm. And then you could go even higher with the, so you'd have 3 different heights. I don't know if that'd be good.
Yeah,
I think so. But then maybe they tried that, and there's just no way to make them good for running unless you cut the bottoms up. Actually, this may be the answer. They cut the.
But Nike.
The problem is this: the middle of these are
so stiff.
They're so stiff in the middle, like this. Look at this thing. This is fucking disgusting.
It's so hard to 4-foot strike with a stiff midsole.
Yeah, so that might have been a problem they couldn't overcome with different inserts. So. And did we talk about the pattern on the bottom?
Yeah, pattern on the bottom. The tread pattern is different.
Super grippy.
It's super grippy. I didn't notice a difference. There is a difference with the rope guard. The rope guard is a different pattern. Good. Still pretty good, but also goes a lot higher up into the shoe.
Oh,
right.
Yeah,
so like on the fours, it's a little bit more shallow of a grip. This one comes up higher, right? And I think that trends even to the most recent ones. I mean. Fucking those ones go all the way up to the top of the shoe, right?
So, there you go.
So yeah, those are the 5s.
6s, we get a little bit of style change.
Yeah, the mesh is different.
I think they changed the mesh because they probably got complaints that those were just too damn hot. They just didn't breathe. I don't know if they actually did, but I definitely complained. And they changed up the pattern of the so these, if you're wearing socks, you could actually see your socks through them, which is nice. Like if there's a pattern, not nice because you could see them, but nice because especially here, you could feel the fucking breeze coming through these. And what ends up happening, your feet don't heat up. Like if you're running in these, like let's say I do a workout that's got a couple miles of running on pavement, and these suckers heat up. Your feet are burning. They're cooking in there. And that will actually slow you down. So keeping the feet cooler, which these definitely do, you're going to run longer, further, faster. They put a little this lace thing on the side here, ribbon, I guess they called it, ribbon. I don't know why.
I know why they did that, because
transition.
There's a lot of people that their shoes were
splitting right
here, because I don't know. I guess people fucking don't know how to walk or something,
I don't know.
And this is like right in the middle of their midfoot, and that pushes outward.
Yeah, so this tape
it
helped
pulls
that.
down on this and it splits.
They also put it on the side here, coming up, which this came apart like within the first fucking week.
Really?
Yep. And then, by the way, these are customs, so I paid extra money for these. This fell apart in the first week, just like that, but it never got worse.
It just fell
in the
apart
6
from
months.
right
I've only worn these for 6 months, by the way. I'm going to point that out. So, so that's the first difference, is the upper S. The biggest difference I think that they've ever put into one of their shoes, for all of these mesh. From first to the last. That's the biggest change they made, and it was way for the better. Yeah. These were so comfortable to wear, which is probably part of the reason I
love
beat
my
the snot out of them.
sixes, but the same problem. They degraded so fast that I stopped wearing them, and I started wearing these again, and I just have stuck with these. Yeah,
so these degraded really fast. This heel was the gold.
That too, yeah.
The metallic gold. That wore off within 2 weeks, and whatever. I really just got to see how long it would last. And the heel cup's fine. It's not, and it's the same as that year.
It still functions. It's just the
exactly.
aesthetic.
And the pattern is the same as last year on the bottom.
Right.
We got a little different swoosh pattern. We also got a little bit different tongue. This tongue matches this upper, so it's the same fabric. The big difference, the big problem I have with these is this is garbage. Did you feel these?
Yeah, they're so fucking soft.
So you can almost stick your finger through this. These only lasted 6 months. All of these have seen more use than these. Right away, when they changed not the rubber, the thickness of the rubber this year. Right from the first day I wore these, anytime I would do a jerk, I could feel this wrinkle under my big toe. It would wrinkle like that. And then here in 6 months, they looked like this in the beginning. 6 months, they're almost worn flat. The heel is no different than the front either. It's just as thin. Yeah. Actually, it's just about ripping right there. I was trying to see if I'd stick my finger through it. So I don't know if it's the color, because these were gray. Gray is such a weird color.
On all of them,
they're so soft.
Same fucking compound.
All I could think is that they've been changing the thickness of these things, because I'll tell you, my ones and twos, I threw them out just because the top had a couple holes in them. Like, oh, right here, this is where the ones and twos would wear out, right there. I would have it there and there. I actually think that's why they put the swoosh here. My ones and twos would wear out there, but they'd still be fine. The bottom were like perfect.
Yeah.
Whereas in progressing years, the bottom became the problem. My heel and my toe, where my rub points are right here, that would wear out enough where I'd be like, it's time for a new pair.
Right.
These were the absolute worst, though, which is unfortunate because by far, these were the most comfortable, especially because I wear them a lot. I'm in them every day for hours a day, which is part of the problem. So
but
in 6 months,
you like a subject matter expert, right? Like
yeah.
Like a lot of people might do reviews on these shoes, but
I wear them.
You wear them for 8 hours a day,
and I go through each iteration. I go through at least 2 pairs of them.
Right.
I've owned at least 2 pairs of every single one of these. So this was the big problem. My toe finally went through them doing burpees. It was rubbing against, and my toe went through them. And that's because of this mesh pattern. The holes are so big. There's not a lot. There's only a eighth of an inch connecting each one. And then once one popped, it just zipped right up.
Gotcha.
And that wasn't from a lot of use. You could see it's happening on the side here too.
Yeah.
So you see that right there on the side. It's happening there too. However, I still say buy these while you can. Buy them while you can, while they're still out there. You can still get them on Amazon and from Zappos. Nike stopped selling them, I believe. Maybe they're back up. They might be back up now. They didn't for a little bit. But to me, these are the best ones. They just won't last as long. That's the only problem. But comfort-wise, they are top. Yeah. Also, they still came with this heel insert. And I say still because here we are at number 7.
Yep, number 7. Drastic differences, right?
Everything changed. So they took all 6 of those shoes and they threw them out, and they started from fucking scratch. Nothing is the same.
Yeah, they're more of a traditional tennis shoe style shape.
Yeah.
But so a disclaimer, I have not worn these in a WOD.
Yep.
Actually,
Okay.
no, that's not true. I wore your Matt Frazier's.
So yeah, you wore my I had a pair of Matt Frazier's.
Right.
I have since sent them back.
Yeah, because they're
we're gonna try to do this while I had those because they're just funny fucking shoes because they're so hideous.
Yeah, they look
with
like
the crayon, the gold Sharpie attack. Also, so my Matt Frazier's had the heel cup or the this part was gold,
right?
And that day one started chipping off, and then they had the gold trimming. They're just awful. If you haven't seen them, they're great. Just go look them up. Yeah, so they changed everything on these. The heel, we now have, it says Hyperlift on them. And what does it say? Nike React, and they have a Hyperlift. That's this hard-ass plastic. So we're going to bring these Romelos back. This is hard plastic. Lifting shoes are generally used to be made out of wood, right? A lot of people would use men's dress shoes if they couldn't afford lifters, or bowling shoes because those all have that hard rubber or hard leather wood heels. Obviously, Nike makes them out of super hard plastic. This seems to be the same type of plastic we have for this lower part of the heel on the these bad boys, which they're supposed to be. The 7s are supposed to be better for lifting.
Okay, so my question
which I doubt
is how much weight does that add to the shoe?
They're actually lighter.
Really?
It didn't add any weight.
Because these are Tommy's shoes, so they're obviously going to feel lighter
tiny.
than one of yours and ours, or mine. But
well, we happen to have. She also.
So
we stocked up on 6s.
Yeah, I mean they do actually feel lighter.
Yeah, they're supposedly a little lighter.
Yeah,
and
you can tell.
But like look at the hard plastic. It's actually you can see through it. So there's not a lot of material there where this is solid material, and that could be where they save a half ounce or so.
See this to me just seems so much more like a hybrid shoe than this does. Like this seems way more CrossFit or cross-training friendly.
I agree.
Whereas this seems like there's a little bit more running influence in it, with like the combination of running and lifting. Like you have this hard plastic sole here that's lifter friendly. But if you look at the profile of the shoe, it's all raked forward, right? Which if you run properly, that's friendly towards running, right?
Yep.
So that's interesting. But then it still has your traditional CrossFit stuff. The
rope
Metcon,
guard. All right.
But
let's talk about the best part of this shoe.
And that one WOD that I did in your Matt Frazier's had rope climbs in it, and I can tell you firsthand that rope guard is unbelievable.
Goes all the way up.
It goes all the way up, and it's so grippy. Like the amount of effort that I had to put into locking my feet together was just like it was effortless.
So on the outside, it goes
higher up,
about the same height, but it flattens out, so it's more width. So if you're not that accurate, and I'm going to tell you what this is for. This is when you look at it like this, you know what it's for.
Oh, so
it's to direct the rope. So this little nudge out here, this is to direct the rope into the guard, because it starts and end. It starts right where the it is where the rope guard starts, right?
Interesting.
So that is absolutely, because when you see it on this one, it's even more pronounced. Look at that.
Yeah.
That one's sharp. So, and then this is super hard. The hardness here and the sharpness probably adds to the grippiness of this. Also, if you look at the bottom, it's rounded. This is like flat, right? Yeah. So you have to, your rope is never going to make a 90-degree turn. It's going to wrap around, and this is rounded. You would think it would make it a little more flexible in the middle, making it a little better for running. It's not very flexible at all. I don't know if it's worse. It's actually stiffer, but that's probably because
that one workout that I did had running and rope climbs, right? Yeah. And I mean, it was probably because your shoes were 3 sizes too big for me that day, but they did not feel very good running.
If you have if these fit you, these will be the best CrossFit shoes you'll ever own. Because if they fit you, they're the best rope climbers, and
unbelievable.
And for everything else, they're going to be fine.
Yeah.
And one thing they're going to be better than all the other Metcons is running. So one thing we changed, even though we have all this nonsense, which I hate, these 4 different layers of bullshit on your heel. The heel to toe drop is 2 to 3 millimeters.
Yeah.
These are 4 or 5. Okay. So you have less heel to toe, so you're getting more back towards the 0 drop thing that CrossFit's always been talking about. Here's the problem with these. This is what you get, this piece of shit. This is like throwaway garbage. And my guess is because they have no real insole is the only reason we have that flatness, right? Whereas these guys
have thick insoles,
I don't know where I threw the insole.
Oh, I put it back in my shoe.
Oh, there you go. So yeah, that insole probably is the answer. So one thing that it's not going to help you for, though, that's fucking nuts. The difference,
drastic difference.
Yeah, or actually, here we got hers.
Yeah,
we'll use the same sizes. If I could get it out, there you go. Yeah, so we're talking monster difference. This is substantial. This changes your feel. Actually, you feel the drop is right there.
Yeah. It changes.
Whereas this is not going to help you. I mean, it's not going to hurt you either, but this isn't going to make your shoe better. However, they have all those fancy inserts now that you could buy that you would never, you wouldn't really want to do with these, because this changes the shoe. If you take out one of these and you put in one of these, your shoe's fucking wrecked. But maybe not. Maybe you could actually run in them then. So that's one awesome difference is that rope guard. The other one, they have this little locking lever for your shoelaces.
That's
so
interesting.
You can put them in there. That'll save them. Again, rope climbs. What happens with rope climbs? They untie your fucking shoes and double unders, right? So this is like, again, best rope climb shoe you're ever going to see. And it's got a little Velcro if you want to undo your shoe so it's not popping up. And then when you're done, you lock them up. Kind of cool.
Yeah.
And then they went back to a different, closer to the previous mesh. And I'm not going to say that they don't breathe as well. Well, they don't breathe as well. So I will say that. But they're not as bad as the 5s. They're
kind of in between.
They just changed it to a more interlocking mesh than the big holes, but it's not very thick. So that's kind of good. The only problem is they then covered it in fucking rubber everywhere. And I don't know why this pattern of rubber is the way it is.
Fashion, bro.
It's fucking horrible. On the Frasers, it's so pronounced because of that fucking gold. God. The gold is wrapping around it, and it's like
so ugly.
They are. It's covering here. So you only actually have breathability through here, and actually once you get to here, the breathability stops. So you only have really breathability through here. So even though the mesh is almost as breathable as these, this is all open.
Right.
The holes are open. They covered it in plastic, but the holes go through the plastic. I don't know why they made this solid. So these aren't going to breathe as well. Your feet are going to heat up. And the back half is just as bad as any of them ever were. Actually, it's worse because now you have this rope guard, super thick-ass rubber, coming all the way to three-quarter shoe. They're going to get hotter. Running in them is definitely better. This is the best Metcon runner they've made, which is cool.
It definitely seems like they've made 7 generations of shoes. The first ones were definitely specifically designed for CrossFit, right? I mean, even Nike said that they created the shoe to compete with the Nano, so that Reebok didn't have a hold on the CrossFit shoe industry. But I think as you come closer to present day, you start to see how they maybe have changed some things or added some things in to make the shoe appeal to a bigger audience. Right? Like, you think a general gym goer, right? Like, just somebody that goes to like a Planet Fitness or something. If you were to show them this shoe and this shoe,
you're gonna buy this one.
I guarantee you that person is gonna lean more towards this one.
Yeah, this looks more,
looks
more traditional,
the heel, gym friendly.
Because we're so used to, which is weird, the Nike Air, right, and all the fucking weird heel shit, that a solid heel looks weird to people.
Yeah, so I think that's probably part of their business plan, is to try and get
absolutely
the Metcon to a bigger audience.
Here's so the only problem with this is that CrossFit is lifting, right? That's what sets us apart from all the other fitness regimes, is that we actually use a barbell, right, and heavy weights and all that good shit. Obviously, it doesn't set us from Olympic lifting or powerlifting, but versus like the F45s and fucking Orange Theory and high intensity training. The problem is that these aren't good for that. These are not good for lifting. It says hyperlift on the back. They have this harder heel, but you now have almost zero drop.
Right.
And the other thing they did away with is with the lifting insert. Why? Here's my theory on this whole thing. For how many years did we have that insert? 3 years?
2 years.
2 years. 2 years we had the insert. My guess is the sales of these bad boys
went down.
Yeah. And they realized, oh shit, we could sell CrossFitters 80 pairs of shoes if we can make up 80 different versions, 80 different uses.
Well, they also created a new style of lifter too.
Yeah, right? And I think they eliminated people. A lot of people that are like mid-level, low-level CrossFitters aren't looking at lifting shoes, or we'll say mid-level. Low-level shouldn't be looking at them anyway. Mid-level CrossFitters, you're not looking at lifting shoes anymore when your Metcons do it, and they did it well. That's the problem. So I think they probably went down in sales, and they said, how do we fix this? Oh, we fix it by dropping the heel, getting rid of the insert, and now, like, if somebody comes to me and says, hey, I'm thinking of getting Metcons, I'll be like, all right, cool. But is it going to help me lift? And I'm going to say, no, you want lifters for that now. Yeah. Whereas before I'd say get the Metcons and put the inserts in. So that's the problem. The other thing with these, so this is a half size bigger because for some fucking dumb reason, and this is my biggest gripe with Nike at this moment, because I'm no longer buying their shoe when they run out of these. These do not fit people.
They're not true to their size.
For 6 years, I wore Metcons in size 13. It's the reason I don't own Reebok anymore after the 3s. I think they changed the toe box. It's the reason I don't buy No Bulls, because they don't fit me.
Yeah.
Nikes fit me perfect. That's why I never stray from them. Now, for some reason, they've eliminated some of the height in the outer toe, and now this is just rubbing so hard that my toes go numb on my left side of my foot, or my outside of my foot.
So you have to get a bigger size.
So you have to get a bigger size. So for me, there is no such thing. You go from 13 to 14. They don't make 13 and a half. And good luck finding them, even if they do.
Right.
So I no longer am in. I had those Matt Frasers. Those were 13s. My toes would go numb. I would put them on for the workout. It's fine if you're going to put them on for a workout. Do the workout, take them off. But I'm wearing them all day, no longer. I got 14s. Then they were so ridiculously big. I never even wore them. I put them on. I had a full inch in the front of my toes, and my feet were just swimming. And that would make a lot of things really hard to do.
Yeah.
As you felt when you wore mine.
Of course.
So they ruined the fucking their shoe market by changing. You have people that are 7 years I've been buying your
Right.
shoe without. I actually went from owning mostly New Balances to them, and I would not have ever changed. And now I have to. I have no choice. And I like this shoe. I like what they did. I love this rope guard thing. I like that they're better for running. I don't need them for lifting, so that doesn't matter as much to me. Or here's one. If you have keep these little inserts, slide them in there when you're lifting, you could still do that. That's still an option, right? So, but now I can't wear these. I can't own them anymore. So now, bam, what happened? Innovate. I went and bought Innovates because...
Which, for those of you that are new to
don't quite fit
CrossFit,
me either, but
Innovates are like the original CrossFit shoes.
Yeah.
Like
everybody had Innovates, and then Five Fingers.
When I first started, I owned Innovates.
Yeah, those were legit.
First,
those I had those black and white.
They were so light, dude.
Yeah, the flights.
The initial or the first Innovates I ever owned, I had this red pair of Innovates. Well, they were so light,
but
like, the lightest shoes you could possibly imagine.
The original, and they're a running shoe company. The problem with the original ones is they didn't have rope guard, so you had
they didn't have rope guard, and they just they didn't last. They didn't last to. They weren't meant to take the abuse that CrossFit gives shoes, right?
So if a shoe doesn't have rope guards, it kills the bottom, but it also kills the top because you're rubbing against the top, so it chews everything up. These have this rubber on it to protect against that, and they do have a slight shit rope bite, which is kind of like Reeboks. This is pretty much what they're at now. Noble, they're garbage. When you compare them to this, they're absolute garbage.
Yeah,
like you can't even say this. You can't even say this is a CrossFit shoe compared to this.
Nothing will
unbelievable.
Ever be better than that rope guard right there.
No,
this
it's unfucking real.
I cannot like explain to you, the audience, how unbelievable the bite is on these rope guards. Like, I'm somebody that this is coming from somebody that's been doing rope climbs for 10 years. Like, I've been doing rope climbs for a long time and been doing them using my feet, because I can't go legless, so all the time I have to use my feet. But so just the effort that I had to put in to locking my feet with this rope guard versus like my Metcon 5s, like significantly less.
Yeah.
Like to the point where like the first time that I lifted my feet up and I wrapped them and I locked them, like I paused for a second. I was like, holy shit, this is nice. And I stood up and it was just so nice. Like, I cannot explain to you how.
Look at that heel profile. You got like a slant back here. This thing's straight. I wonder what the deal is there.
Right? Because
wonder why that is.
remember when I was telling you about how
it's cupping your Achilles kind of.
Cupping your Achilles so your heel has room to expand.
Better for running. Yeah.
Definitely better for running because majority of people heel straight.
So there it is. Way more information you ever wanted to know about Nike Metcon. So
but
here's
if you ever had any questions, this is your go-to guide.
Here's the move. If these fit you, get them. They're great.
Yeah,
if they fit you.
If your feet don't or your toes don't get.
If these don't fit you for the same reason I have, and they don't make a half size up, which Tommy's are half size up, she's fine with them.
Yeah,
I just can't get a half size up. So as long as you got under 13s, I think they make 12 and a halves.
Yep.
They don't generally make 13 and a half though. So if not, or even if you want a really great shoe, that you could still buy the 6s, and they're fucking badass.
On the website too, they have 6s on the website.
Oh, they do. Okay.
Yep.
So they took them down for right when they released the 7s.
Pretty cheap too. You can get some for like $80.
Yeah, so these are legit. I have one or two pairs that I just bought, so I'll probably buy another pair. Because I'm not super happy. The Innovates, I bought the Innovates because they're like $50 on Amazon.
Nice to see.
They're a little small at the. You see how narrow they are?
Yeah,
a little narrow.
They're
kind of tight, but I'm hoping they break.
Shoes have been.
Yeah. I'm hoping they break in a little bit, and I think they are. I ran with them yesterday.
I remember when I had my Innovates, I would. I'd have to. I was never able to tie my shoes when I used my Innovates.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I always had to leave them untied because if that tied up, because my feet are super wide, so they didn't work well.
There it is. So get those. Get them.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in.
Now we can throw these old shoes out.
We would like to hear your opinions on the Metcons if you have.
Yeah, if you have these versus these.
Yeah, or just those of you that are veteran CrossFitters that have been using Metcons from the early days. I'd like to know where I can get more Metcon 5s.
Oh, okay.
Because I don't know. I
eBay,
really
dog.
like them. But I know that you can pretty much get any one.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you guys have any thoughts or questions or comments. Last thing I wanted to say about these fucking Metcons, it's just my OCD. But this fucking
what is that? What is that? Why are you gonna change the swoosh like that?
Why is the swoosh just have this section that's elevated?
Not only that, let me tell you. You saw the Matt Fraser's. Matt Fraser's signature is on them, but it's 3/4 of it is under this rubber. It's like they put it on there and then they're like, oh, wait a minute, we're going to add more rubber on here. And it covers up his fucking signature, which why bother?
Yeah.
And it's that little jut in the swoosh.
I thought maybe this was just a misprint, so I was looking on the fucking...
No, not at all. And it's not on the other side, nor is it on this.
I was looking right here on the website, and they all have them, and I just don't
understand. It makes no sense.
Why?
Yeah, I don't know.
Nike, can you let us know why the hell your swoosh is it's broken?
What y'all doing?
You know?
Just it's right up there with this fucking zigzag on the toe.
Yeah, like why?
Don't do it.
But yeah, thanks for tuning in. Like, subscribe, comment, refer a friend. Come check out our daily rants.
Refer a friend program.
Yeah. Thanks.